Let's play the theme song so we can get into character.
Okay. We're acting now. This is not our genuine selves anymore.
I have never been genuine on this podcast.
I tried that once, but you cut it out.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hey, y'all.
How's it going? How's it?
That's what I was going to say.
Exactly what you were gonna say.
Verbatim.
We have a great show for everyone watching.
When do we not?
That's
a good one. That's a good one.
Any episode before episode 9, awful show.
Just hating every guest we've brought on.
Every single guest.
All of our friends.
All of our friends. They added nothing.
Dude, I love having guests on. I miss it so much because it was just like, well, I have nothing to say.
I didn't have to think of like anything.
Just go ahead.
You just have someone else talk.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But now we have to.
No, we have to.
Now we have to have things to say all the time. God, all these opinions that I have. I feel like I've gotten through almost all my major opinions now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've gotten them all out.
Nothing
Like,
left
what
to
do
offer.
What do I
to
have
the
to
world.
say? I don't have any.
Yeah.
I don't have any opinions. But maybe people never wanted to hear my opinions, so it was just
I don't
like.
think so.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I just needed to get them out, and now it's like, oh, now I just have to be an entertaining individual without opinions. All right. Also, we can't. Well, we could have more opinions if we were up to date on current events.
Which we're not.
Which we're not.
Ignorant people.
We're so ignorant people. And also, there's a 6-week delay in this podcast coming out anyway. So like anything we put out is like, it like doesn't matter. It's like
that's what I'm saying. It's like we could just say like, oh, by the way, little Tay died, and then like it's like even though we know now that she is in fact alive, like
let's pray to God that you didn't just predict little Tay's death.
Levi was telling me earlier that he thinks cooking isn't hard. Which, like, have you seen like a good chef do anything and been like, oh man, I could do that?
Dude,
like,
cooking is not hard. I'm not saying it's easy to be a great cook, but I'm saying base level cooking is not difficult. I feel like it's like this exponential. Sorry, I have to reverse it. It's like this exponential curve where like so many people are like just terrible at cooking, and then it's like a decent population is good, and then it's like this really tiny amount are like killers.
yeah.
You know, that's like all the professional chefs, the grandmas.
The grandma.
the I guess like yeah.
Can you imagine going to your grandma's house? She's like, I've done a vinaigrette reduction on like this cube of tofu, like. Grandma's cooking is just like Michelin star level,
and she serves it to you in the cookies tin.
In the cookies, like the presentation's everything.
Dude, Grandma's Chopped, where it's just all old people, and they like don't like they can't move throughout the kitchen. They're like 10 minutes remaining, and they're just like,
I made my family stew. You're like Gordon Ramsay.
This is fucking awful.
It's been in my family for generations.
Get the fuck out of my kitchen. Yeah, that's a good one. I liked Grandma's on Chopped. Just the idea of them like slowly shuffling around the kitchen is really funny. Because everybody's always like sprinting and like, oh god, the ice cream maker, but they're probably just like they're just in like one place,
like a walker.
Like, yeah, dude, they're like, I'm just imagining my grandma with like the same plastic bowl she's had since like 1950. Yeah, it's like mixing everything just really slow. I like grandma's
Because they
joke.
have the kids one, so why not the grandparent version?
Yeah, yeah. Why don't they do the old? The kids one is so cute though. I've never even watched the full episode, but it's actually like it's so fun seeing little kids go on and cook, and then how supportive the judges are. Like,
Yeah.
it's so positive, which is, I mean,
That's why I don't watch it.
yeah. I would watch it if they slam dunk on
They
these kids.
absolutely dunked on them.
Anyways, sorry. The point I want to make is like I just feel like people who like say like, oh, I don't know how to cook at all, like at all. I just kind of like surprises me that that's where they're at, because it's like the yeah, there's an initial barrier to entry that I'll admit. It's like, yeah, you gotta get your pots and your like pans, and then if you like if you don't like know how to cook, it's like intimidating. But also there's like so many resources, and like I was never like my mom is a good cook, but I didn't really like learn from her how to cook. I was more just like, well, shit, I like want to make this, better figure it out. And then I would like just watch videos like, how do I chop it? I've literally Googled like, how do I chop an onion? Like,
really?
countless times. And like now I'm like, oh, I got this down. I got my like whole little like method that I do. Or like,
I used to love baking, so I used to make pies all the time when I was a kid. I used to make quiches all the time when I was a kid.
That's impressive, actually. Baking is pretty tough.
It's really fun. I loved it. I used to make my own pizza, like from scratch.
From scratch? That's
awesome. It wasn't as good as I could have made it. I definitely want to try again, but yeah, there's something about just like making something with no like just pure ingredients that's so cool. Like cooking is amazing. My friend, I've mentioned him before, is like straight up like a professional chef that's trained by like Michelin star chefs, and the way he chops is like insane.
Yeah,
like,
literally
just like it's so cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good. If you haven't already, learn to cook a new dish this week.
Learn to cook. Just start with an egg. Just start learning how to cook breakfast, because that's the easiest thing. Yeah. Breakfast is the easiest thing. I feel like don't be like, all right, I'm gonna make a souffle. Like just be like,
that can be fun though. I like just choosing something where I'm like, I don't know if I can make this, and just challenging myself.
I hear you, but I'm saying like if you've never cooked, start like just learn how to like fry an egg. Yeah, because it's like what happens. It's like it's such a low time commitment. And it's like, oh, if you fuck it up, also it's just like, oh, well, I just burnt that egg.
I'm trying to cut down on sodium and sugar, because I've been going through high blood pressure through my entire life. I'm just kind of like ignoring it.
You do have high blood pressure attitude.
What does that mean?
You gotta exhale more.
Doing this podcast raises my blood pressure incredibly high.
Yeah.
Doggy Day shelter, that I had like 180 blood pressure. I passed out.
I could see it in
that.
your eyes.
My eyes look insane in that one.
I know. They're like, I don't know how you got them that big. Can we chit chat Johnny Days real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Even though it came out a little while ago from when this is released, that's one of the first sketches that did well for us.
Yeah, it is one of the first sketches. It is the first sketch to get over 1,000 views.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Let alone 500 views.
Yeah.
So just an incredible response to that. Lots of people really liked it. I think it's it's so cool now to see like positive comments on what we're doing. Yeah. Because for the longest time it was just gay or like, you guys shouldn't be making content.
Or it's like, and even less than that, it was more just like, I didn't care as much when people insulted us. I was more like, we put all this into a project and then like no one saw it.
Yeah. I honestly think one of the great things that I think is that like everybody says don't listen to the haters, but I honestly think that listening to the haters is really helpful, because basically what those comments are saying is just like, you got to make your content more appealing.
Whenever someone contents gay, when you're like, yeah, gay, we interpret that as like positive. That's, you know what?
So
that's positive
in
feedback.
those three letters, they're conveying so much about how to improve our content.
They're like, listen, we love the attempt, but it just needs to be. You need to develop it more. You need to think about your audience.
It's true though. Like I honestly think you should listen to hate comments a lot of the time. A lot of the time on like bigger YouTubers, a lot of the hate comments do actually have a point. Sometimes, you know, like so.
The ones where they're like, with your fucking donkey teeth.
Yeah,
like, you should fix your teeth. Yeah, you do look like a little donkey.
Everyone in the comments roast our physical appearances. I want to like have major insecurities.
Oh yeah, and we'll listen to them.
Well, one of
We'll
the
listen
we've
to
gotten
them.
two comparisons.
Roast Jordan about his high blood pressure, so he'll do something about it.
I'm taking meds. I'm taking care of
Okay,
myself.
all
I'm
right,
trying.
all
I'm
right, all
trying.
Roast him for trying. Roast him for trying.
Raise my blood pressure more. Insult me. But
I was just gonna say for Donnie Days.
Oh yeah.
That one is great. And what's so funny about that one is that I literally did nothing. Like it was
That is
just like,
true.
oh great. But then I thought back about it and realized I actually did contribute quite a
How?
serious, because I had left to use the restroom, and then you started doing Donnie Days, and I was basically just like sitting on the toilet, which is right on the other side of that wall, and these
Yeah.
walls are like pretty thin. And so what I contributed is me sitting on the toilet and just like silently like laughing my ass off as Jordan is like monologuing in here. And the whole time I was like, don't fucking laugh. This is gold. Like, do not ruin this. Do not. And I was just like shaking on the toilet.
So
in
funny that you
laughter.
could hear me the whole
I know
time.
the whole time. I was just like, don't fucking
Which means
laugh.
the people
don't fucking laugh.
who are on the other side of that wall over there can hear everything,
Everything.
we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They know all
Hello.
of our... Hi.
Hello.
I have a little thing for Jordan's History Corner today
Yay.
that somewhat deals with issues of labor and labor unions.
Okay.
So, was it last week we talked about Nixon? No, not Nixon. LBJ. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't have another History Corner after that.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, this one today is about President Taft, who is a very strange president. Do you know anything off the bat about him?
I feel like was he president of the U.S. while Mexico was going through the Mexican Revolution?
No.
Damn.
He was president right
try.
after Theodore Roosevelt.
Good try, Levi. When was the Mexican Revolution?
Mexican. Oh God. You do this thing where you always ask me questions not related. Oh, maybe he was. God damn it. Okay, he was president during that.
Yay! I knew history.
You
Thanks,
you
Mr.
always
B.
start. I'm always like I have this topic, and then you're like, okay, what's something completely unrelated to this topic that you
I just
didn't
have
do?
questions. I
have
questions. I am curious. I'm trying to learn.
Can
Sorry.
you imagine if like your professor's like, stop asking
me.
questions?
Like, actually, I don't understand. They're like, what? Did you not listen to what I just said?
Professor, please, I just want to know, like, I just want to know some extra details.
Silence.
It's like office hours.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Professor, I just had a question on last week's lecture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
so when you said that the dinosaurs went extinct because of the meteor, I was just wondering if you could give me a bit more detail about how the evolutionary process happened after that.
Right. Well, the dinosaurs, if you remember, the dinosaurs went extinct because of the meteor.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's what I said.
Could you give more context though as to like the scope of that, how it affected the continents and
Right.
like,
So
the
it was a
long-term
really
effect?
big meteor.
Okay, right. So I did some research on my own, and it looks like I mean I can like tell you these details if you don't have them.
It was a really big meteor.
Okay, this is fucking stupid. Okay, I want to talk about Taft.
Yes.
President Taft is a super interesting case study of a president because he did not want to be president.
Oh, really?
He wanted to be a judge. He was a very stately man. He originally started in as the overseer of the Supreme Court, and it was during that time that he met Teddy Roosevelt, who was part of the Department of Labor at the time, I believe. And they both got into a very intimate friendship. They were very close with each other. And that's what today's History Corner is about. The relationship between Teddy Roosevelt and Taft, because it is a fascinating story that has ups and downs and sadness and betrayal.
As most of
So-
my relationships do.
As most friendships, we're gonna betray each other this episode.
You think I haven't betrayed you already?
Please don't tell me you replaced my blood pressure meds for this episode. So, we all know about Teddy Roosevelt, right? You know about Teddy Roosevelt.
The
You know
bear
what he
guy.
did. Yeah, what?
The bear guy.
Oh yeah, he did invent the teddy bear.
Did he invent those?
It was made to represent a bear that he didn't kill while he
Yeah.
was on a hunt. He's like, it's too majestic.
Bear guy.
But Teddy Roosevelt was basically a rock star president. He had so much clout. The media loved him.
I know he did great environmental stuff.
Yeah, he did do great environmental stuff. I don't want to go too into his policies, but he's just like an absolute beast. Like
Everybody loves him.
Yeah, think about the level of celebrity that Trump has, but in a positive light, more so. So you know, like how the
Universally
news,
positive.
yeah. So like you know how everybody always talks about Trump all the time. Imagine that, but it's like Teddy Roosevelt's so
It's
goddamn cool.
unilaterally. Everybody likes him.
And before Teddy Roosevelt resigned as president, he decided to choose a successor, and he wanted that successor personally handpicked to be Taft.
Little king-like.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because Teddy Roosevelt has this huge, boisterous personality that you can just see just from any photo he has, and Taft is very reserved. He's kind of like wishy-washy, but he's like apparently a very nice, like, you know, gets along well with people. But it's just so weird to me that Teddy Roosevelt, who's this big, like, just massive figure, is like, I want Taft. Like, I want my friend in there. And Taft had to be convinced by both his wife and Teddy Roosevelt to run for president because Roosevelt basically said it and then asked Taft afterwards. And he's like,
Right.
Taft kind of knew it was coming, but also like it seems like he wasn't totally prepared. But because Roosevelt was like, this guy's going to continue my policies, he's going to be really good, Taft said yes. So Taft wins the presidency, and Roosevelt decides that once he's done, he's going to do like a tour of Africa and Europe. And he was still keeping up the celeb persona while he was gone. So he like tons of photos of the not people he was hunting, the animals he was hunting may as well been people with his foreign policy in Latin America, but we were not gonna get into that.
He's just fucking dissed Teddy Roosevelt. Just shit talking this decades old dead guy. All right, anyways.
Yeah. I do want to say before we dive too much into this that I'm gonna make Taft look pretty nice, but he was very apathetic to black rights, and also once went to a feminist convention and basically said, you people are too emotional, and then left. he was
Sigma.
he was not a social justice warrior. I just want to make that clear off the bat because I'm gonna make him look sympathetic in this story, but like just keep that in the back of your mind.
Yes.
As most historical figures. Roosevelt's going on his shit, like just killing stuff, taking names, and back at home, Taft was making some controversial decisions. For instance, getting into an argument and firing Teddy Roosevelt's head of the Forest Service for complicated reasons, and then that becoming a huge scandal. He then also did a bunch of antitrust stuff, which Teddy Roosevelt started. In fact, Taft did more antitrust busting acts than Roosevelt, but he accidentally kind of did something that Teddy didn't like, which was trying to break up the American Steel Company, which Roosevelt was like, that's a good one. You shouldn't have done that. And that combined with just generally being seen as more conservative, supporting a tariff that was better for businesses, everyone's kind of like not impressed with Taft. And Roosevelt especially is not impressed with Taft. And he's starting to get antsy to be back in the spotlight. So Teddy Roosevelt, while he was away, apparently wrote back, and after he heard about what Taft was doing, he was just like, ugh, I do dread going back to America and having to plunge into this cauldron of politics. Lies. Absolute lies. Teddy Roosevelt fucking loved it. He did not want to retire. He was ready to run for a third term, and he really, really wanted to. And during this time, Taft is writing to Roosevelt, and he says, He says, I'm ready. And he says, I do not know if I have had harder luck than other presidents, but I do know that I have succeeded far less than others. I am trying to carry out your policies, but my method of doing so has not worked smoothly. And then Teddy Roosevelt returns home and he basically says, I am ready to run again. And Taft then writes to him and he's like, I will make no speeches or say anything for 2 months. I will keep my mind open as I keep my mouth shut. And is basically like, listen, man, like, basically he was asking for help from Roosevelt. And he said in a quote, if I only knew what he wanted, I would do it. But he has told me nothing. I am deeply wounded. He gives me no chance to explain my position or learn his. So it's just really sad.
Basically, Roosevelt was like, all right, you be president. And then he's like, I don't really want to. He says, no, you got this. Leaves. Taft doesn't know what he's doing. And then Roosevelt comes back and is like, never mind.
He's like, Ayo, you are doing this terribly. He's like, just tell me what to do. And he's like, no.
I'll do it.
And this is the sad part because they were really, really good friends. And he decided to run again. Roosevelt ran again under the Bull Moose Party. Because Taft was like being like, this, and you're being a bit too extreme. I still want to run again. And he literally said in one speech, this tears my soul. I am here to answer an old true friend who has made many changes. I deny all those charges. I do not want to fight Theodore Roosevelt, but I'm going to fight him. And after a speech, after a long day of campaigning, he apparently was sitting down and a reporter was looking for him. And he found him sitting alone. And his head was in his hands and his eyes were filled with tears. And he said, Roosevelt was my closest friend.
Oh my God, that is so sad.
So basically, between Roosevelt and Taft, the vote was split and Woodrow Wilson won.
Wow.
They didn't reunite again until 1918. And Taft went to a conference at a Chicago hotel. And right before he went up to his room, the elevator operator told him, like, hey, by the way, Teddy Roosevelt is having dinner in the dining room. And he's like, I'm going there right now. And he walks into the room and everybody's kind of like, oh my God, like, Taft is here. And he comes up to Roosevelt and Roosevelt does a double take. And he's like, and then they get up and he gives the biggest bear hug. And they're like talking for hours. They fucking like love each other again. They're talking about all that stuff. And it kind of was instigated because earlier that year in 1918, Roosevelt had gotten sick with a disease he caught on a trip in the Amazon. And he basically wrote to him and was like, hope you're doing well. And Roosevelt responded, am rather rocky, but worth several dear men. And he said, greatly touched and pleased by your message. So they started to reconcile again, and they started sending speeches back and forth. And it's really nice that they reconciled because 8 months later, Theodore Roosevelt died.
Oh, wow.
And Taft went to his funeral and reportedly stayed longer than a lot of other people after the service, standing by his grave, like crying and just like mourning his friend. And it's such a great story of broship because these two guys are so different from each other. And it's really incredible to see this very personal relationship story played out on a national scale. Like, it literally feels like a band movie where like the band breaks up and then they get back together, but like it has a tragic ending. It's just such a great story, and I'm very happy to share it with you. So yeah,
cool.
That was the little story about Taft and Roosevelt.
Very cool. Very cool.
Hopefully kept that brief enough.
Tag yourself. I'm Roosevelt.
I am Roosevelt. Which one of us is Taft and which one of us is Roosevelt?
Well, I don't know because we don't have there's no position that we're vying for.
I'm a vegetarian while you eat meat, so I feel like that immediately makes you a Roosevelt.
Oh, I'm more Roosevelt. Oh, because Roosevelt ate me. He was just like environmentally proud.
What's your thoughts towards the civil rights movement? That'll decide. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Oh wait, never mind.
What's your opinion on Latin American colonialization? You are taking a long time to think that through.
Listen, I'm not gonna do it. But if I don't, someone will.
Oh my god. Anyways, I feel like the thing about Taft is interesting because I would never want to be president.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like being president is such a
It's an awful job. It's like, why would you ever want to do that?
you just have to have such strong convictions, and I feel like I'm too easily swayed.
Exactly.
I
You
should
would be
not be in
Taft.
power. I would be. Well, I don't know if I would even be Taft. I would be just more like, I'd be like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like,
A presidential speech that's like, American people, I want to talk to you about things going on in our country. Frankly, I don't know what to feel about them. So I'm gonna just workshop it. Can I get some ideas from the crowd? You sir, you over there.
let's talk about things that have happened. Okay, economy, jobs are up. What do we think? Show of hands? Yay? Nay? We good? Okay, that one's positive. That one's okay. We're happy about that.
I'm seeing a lot of people putting up the middle finger. Okay, like what? How many people? Okay, let me count. 1, 2. Okay, we're gonna do a cheering system. Whoever.
Okay. If you like what I'm saying, move to this side of the room. If you don't like it, move over there.
Oh,
okay,
okay,
so
there's-
everyone stand up. I need everybody stand up. Okay.
Okay, they're trampling each other. Oh god. Okay. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, what does everybody think about what I just did? I'm hearing a lot of boos.
Hearing a lot of screams.
Okay. Oh, there's some children.
Okay.
Forget what I just said. Let's talk about something else. So, how's your day going?
Yeah.
Oh, you're trampled. If you were president, what would you implement as your policies to try and be the least controversial president?
Just like universally,
Yeah.
like everyone's. If I can't like have a strong opinion on anything, then I have to find
Middle of the road. Yeah.
something middle of the road. Okay. Are these like what kind of policies are we
Anything.
talking?
You're president.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna make
By the way, sorry, we should clarify. Presidents don't choose policies; they're sent to him by Congress. But let's say you were like,
let's say I'm a king.
you're king. Okay, yeah.
I'm king of America.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I feel like I want to spend a lot more money on local libraries.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm
like
pro
what?
I'm pro local library, especially one because we could have more libraries. We can make the libraries we have way cooler. We could have like more events happen at the library.
Ooh.
To like if we gave them funding, they could do. Because as a kid, one thing that I remember is going to the library and watching a magic show. And
They had magic shows at the library.
God, dude, that's a core memory for me is sitting down in the middle of the library and watching this magician do this. Like he didn't like pull a rabbit out of his hat. He just like did some like color changing trick. And I remember literally just being like, what am I watching right now?
So
Like,
as
it's
king,
so
you're gonna
insane.
support magicians, is what you're
I'm
saying.
pro-magician.
Pro-magician.
I'm pro-magician. My first policy.
You're gonna make the Ministry of Magic. It's gonna be like Harry
Yo,
Potter.
that would be so cool. I would totally make a Ministry of Magic. That would be awesome. This is all, by the way, this is all coming out of the defense budget. Everything I talk about is just coming out of the Air Force. Okay, yeah, so I'm local libraries and magicians. I like both of those. I'm going to put bank. Okay, sorry.
Sir, nukes have just been launched in Russia. We need your decision now.
Hold on. Yes. Yes, I need Alakazam. I need him over here right now.
Alakazam.
I need a spell quickly.
Can you imagine asking the president? It's like, we need the nuclear codes. And you like start taking out a comically large like hanky out of your pocket. You're like, oh, are they over here? Sir,
so funny.
sir, we need the defense missiles.
Oh, here they are.
All right, thank you. It's like, can you press the button?
I'm gonna press it.
I'm gonna open which my fingers detaching while I press the nuke button.
Oh my god.
Magician
I'll
president.
just press it. Oh.
Can we just add in the nuke going off right now? If I were president, the first thing I would do is I would make like 5 new bills. Like, and not like law bills, I mean like dollar bills. Like I'd make the $200 bill, I'd make the $500 bill.
Again, you would just popularize it again. It already exists.
The $500 bill?
Yeah, I have one.
Who's on it?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
You
in a
have
while.
one?
Yeah.
Is it Taft? Please tell me it's Taft.
That would actually be sick.
It's Taft stuck in a bathtub.
I know the $500 bill exists because
Really?
I do have one.
I think we should bring those back, but I think we should update the presidents on it. And I don't think they should be presidents. I think they should be like notable American historical figures.
Internet
like
celebrities.
Johnny,
Dude.
Mr. Beast.
Every year, what if every year we just reissued the bill with like new people who were popular?
That would be so cool.
Yo,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
you'd know what year it is from because it's got the person on it.
He's got like, I've got a rare mint condition PewDiePie bill.
Yo, that would actually be so crazy. That'd be so crazy.
That's basically what crypto is, though. Like they have different
Yeah.
currencies for different people.
Yeah, I guess, but
So-
it would be more fun to have it standardized and reissued every year.
Yeah.
You know.
I think we should do the thing that what was it, a leader of Iran said that, you know, after they killed that general in Iran, the United States government, and then like Iran bounced back by saying, we can't kill any people in America because you only have fake idols like SpongeBob and like you know about this, right? So I think we should put SpongeBob on a bill to just as a big like take that.
Yeah, take
You
that.
know?
How about that? That is our idol.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is.
SpongeBob is our idol. He is now on the $1,000 bill. What are you gonna do about it?
If we were going to, okay, let's do. Should we start with pennies and work our way up?
Yeah, okay, if we were to rebrand everything.
Every like commonly used denomination.
Maybe the penny. Are we doing cultural or like literal political figures?
It can be whatever. I think it just has to be someone of note. It has to be someone
Okay.
of note from America.
All right, so the penny, I feel like we should do Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory.
That's
You know?
great.
Yeah.
That's great. The only thing I don't like is how often I would see that.
Well, it's more than useless, so like...
Okay, yes. Okay, Big Bang Theory. I might push for someone from like Friends or
Friends, Joey from Friends is on
Joey
like
from
the nickel.
Friends or Seinfeld.
Seinfeld is the $1 bill, I think.
Put Seinfeld as a 1.
Yeah.
That's pretty
pretty
serious.
George
I might-
Costanza, though, would be the $50 bill, and we all know it. Yeah.
Okay, we got to think broader though. We got to be broader. We got to go broader. I'd put Jerry on a dime.
This is the stupidest conversation
love
we've
it.
ever
Dude, this is so fun. Dude, what do you mean? Why would we talk about something serious when we can talk about something entertaining?
Because there's no criteria. We're just saying,
It doesn't matter.
Jerry Seinfeld's
No,
on it. Okay.
No, I'm saying Jerry Seinfeld is dime level.
Okay. Jerry Seinfeld is
I think
dime level.
He had significant cultural impact. Like,
I think we should do Marilyn Monroe then on like $100 bill. That'd be pretty cool.
Monroe. I feel
Marilyn
like there's-
Monroe, not
No,
James
I know,
Monroe.
I know. I feel like there's probably. I mean, I don't know my history enough, but I feel like there's probably more impactful and powerful feminist icons than Marilyn
Barbie.
Monroe. Barbie would go on it this year. Barbie would hit a hundo. I'd put
Quentin
Barbie.
Tarantino's on the $5 bill.
Okay, so what policies would you enact if you were president then? Nonpartisan.
I'd just invade Canada and Mexico. Let's just go full imperialist again. Like, what are we doing?
Your policies are a lot more aggressive than mine.
Non-controversial. It's very non-controversial. Invade our
non-controversial.
neighbors. It is kind of cool that we live in a time though where that's not even like that's a joke. Like, there's no serious plans to invade
like,
Mexico
invade?
or Canada.
Well,
because
for us to invade.
Like,
there are invasions.
Like, say what you will about the most extreme people in politics right now, neither of them are calling for invasions of other countries. Like,
yeah,
it's
we've
so
kind of shifted.
unpopular.
But that's the thing is we've shifted. We've gone the other way where it's now like we're not trying to go out. We're trying to be like no. Like everybody get out.
Yeah.
This is our thing now.
Good point.
So we've kind of swung the other. We swung
Jeez.
the other direction.
Man,
Yeah.
America, What's up with America?
What's the deal?
What's the deal with America?
Sounds like something somebody on the dime would say. I'm pro libraries. I'm pro public transport. I'm pro magician. What else is non-controversial?
Pro magician is so stupid.
What? It's fun. It's fun. I feel like, I mean, obviously everyone's like, tax the rich, but I'm trying to do something that's like unique.
I like how you just roasted
tax
the entire
rich.
progressive movement. You're like, oh, everyone's like, raise taxes for people who have more money.
Oh, people have money and can afford taxes, and we should.
How are you supposed to get the bag if you have graduated income tax? All I'm saying.
All I'm saying. You're making it harder to secure that. secure the
bag.
Yeah. I like being pro magician. I think that's a good place to start.
I feel like pro magician, just the magician party is a great idea. I think we should get magicians into politics.
It would just make the speeches so much better.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the flourishes and like doves come out of his suit every time. I mean, like just something like
It'd
that.
be scary to have a very radical magician though, where he's like, I'm gonna make immigrants disappear.
I know. I was gonna say he was like he holds up the Bill of Rights. He's like, see this?
It's gone.
It's gone. That would actually be so fucking funny. Radical magician.
Radical, because that's what would happen if you got magicians in politics. Then it would eventually fracture into a two-party system where they're all fighting over the same issues, except they're playing dirty now. Like, imagine if somebody tried to cut Rudy Giuliani in half, like,
and then he actually did it.
Exactly.
They would sacrifice the box.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they would set it up. I mean,
What do you know the most about? What is the thing that if you like were tested on it, you'd be like, I'd crush it?
I don't even know, dude. I feel like that's kind of what's so tricky is I just kind of do a bunch of weird, random things that I don't get too heavily invested in any one thing. Like I play music, but I don't really like know music theory.
I feel like you could crush
soccer.
football.
I don't even watch like a ton of broad soccer though. I really just watch like English teams.
I don't think it's very good to call women's soccer broad soccer. Yeah, you need to update your language there.
And these fucking broads, they're playing football. It would be science because I did my degree in that, so I have like a pretty good understanding of science in general. I'm decent at, I guess. Then making something most relevant would be like education potentially.
I want to say accounting, but I feel like I can't until I pass my exams.
Oh yeah, but
Then
you would
I
know
can
the
say.
most about it, even if you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be still the thing you know the most about. Yeah, I think I'm education and science then would be my like political things that I know the most about.
Teach me something of science.
Oh,
Teach me science. Teach me a science.
I have. This is a great science knowledge that everybody should know, including you, listeners. Okay. Humidity is a very interesting and it's kind of a misunderstood thing because it's measured really weird. So you know when you go outside and it's 100% humidity, it's kind of like people describe it as like
isn't that
sticky,
just the
it's
ocean?
hot. No.
That's 100% humidity. How is 100% humidity not just water? What the hell does that even mean?
Let me explain. So humidity, as you said, is measured in a percentage. So the percentage that it represents, or the percentage that it means, is it's the amount of water that the air can hold. So like, you know, when things evaporate, basically what's happening is as a liquid, water kind of sticks together and all the atoms are like, they're attracted to one another, but they're not like, they're not locked in place. Yeah. They're just attracted enough where they're kind of swirling around, but the attraction is strong enough that they stick together. And that's what water is. And then when it gets hot, those atoms get a lot of energy, and so they disperse out into the air. The energy that they have is like greater than the energy that attracts them together, essentially. So humidity is how much water is in the air as a percentage of how much could be in it. So if it's at 100% humidity, that means the air is holding as much water as possible.
What happens if it goes above that?
It can't.
So the air cannot hold that much
You
water.
can't hold 110% humidity, right? Because it's like, how much could the air hold? But here's what makes humidity weird, is that it's measured as a percentage, not an absolute value. So it's not like how much water is in the air. It's how much is in the air based off of how much the air can hold, which is weird because
Okay.
the amount of water that the air can hold is affected by temperature. So when it gets colder, the air can hold less water. So in
Oh.
Seattle, 100% humidity is actually a lot less water in the air than 100% humidity in Florida.
That's super interesting.
Isn't that weird? And I
Wow.
always found that that's just like, it seems like such a terrible way to measure something that is objectively different everywhere.
Have they thought about rain? How does that affect
Rain? Well, I
there's
think
literal water in the air.
yeah, I think rain is tricky because it's not like how much water. Well, because rain comes from the clouds, and actually, I think rain happens when a cloud gets like oversaturated
Yeah.
with water, and the water droplets start like coalescing and then forming that liquid
Okay.
again, and then it falls down. But yeah, actually, that's why in the morning when you go out and it's like it's colder in the morning and you see morning dew, that's because the water in the air that was hot in the prior evening, as it cools overnight, the water, like, sorry, I'm trying to be coherent here. The air in the evening is holding as much water as it can. And then when it gets cold at night, well, the water in the air, it can't stay there because the air is too cold to hold it. So what happens is it actually coalesces and then it
Wow.
forms like morning dew on the ground. So all that morning dew that you see was like in the air all around you. And then as
Wow.
it heats up, it evaporates and go back into the air. Science.
So cool.
I do love science and science
Yeah.
education. So.
You know what they say, morning do, morning don't.
Morning dew, morning. Right.
What? It's science.
Do the morning dew.
Do the morning dew. Do the dew.
Dude, that should be a Mountain Dew commercial. Is it's dew on all the grass, but it's just Mountain
Have
Dew,
they
and
not
you just
done
go around
this?
and.
What are we doing a podcast? We should be in advertising.
We've literally said this multiple times that we should be in advertising.
I could make such good ads. We already have made good ads.
We have, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. We're quitting.
We're quitting. Okay.
We're quitting.
We're gonna give each other like 2 minutes, and we're gonna each pitch an ad to each other.
Okay. Well, let's take a subject, or a company.
Let's do like toothbrush
Toothbrush. Okay.
or oral hygiene.
Oral hygiene.
Yeah.
Okay. So make it
Okay.
broad. Okay.
All
We're
right.
gonna think about an idea, and we'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, so it's oral hygiene. So I'm going pro oral hygiene. So my commercial idea is basically it's a guy in a bathroom and he just like walks into the bathroom, he starts brushing his teeth. And then he turns, he hears something outside, and then someone this guy falls in through the bathroom window, and he's like dressed in like a superhero outfit. And then after him flies like a villain, and the guy with the toothbrush is looking at him on the ground, and he hears the villain come, and he turns, and as he turns, he accidentally knocks the villain out, and the superhero gets up, and he's like, "Oh my God, you saved my life!" And then this like other super hot superhero female woman comes in and is like, "You saved him," and then like gives him a little like kiss on the cheek, and then like the president climbs in, and he's like, "Oh my God," like, "You've done a great service to this country," and like gives the guy who's brushing his teeth the Medal of Freedom. And then the news comes in and it's like, "Please tell us how you did it. Like, you're a national hero." And then everyone is like all crowded around, and then he's just wording out, and then they hear something off in the distance, and everyone just like, sorry, no, you're good. And then everyone scampers out of the bathroom, and then he's just left standing there brushing his teeth. And then someone, either his roommate or his girlfriend, knocks and comes in and is like, "What happened?" And the guy brushing his teeth is just like, and then it cuts to it just goes text, and it says, what happens in 2 minutes stays in 2 minutes.
That's
Yay,
nice.
It's pro oral hygiene.
That's good. That's good. The idea I had also doubles as a product because
Ooh.
I want it to be like, you hear the car wash song playing, like, and you see like a pair of dentures going through the car wash, and
Yeah.
like they have like the stuff come down and do it, but then it cuts to the end of the ad and it's literally a device that like stretches your mouth open and puts like a car wash inside of your mouth, and it like does all the stuff because you already have vibrating toothbrushes. So
Yeah,
why
yeah,
not?
yeah.
Why not just go all out? Why not just go all out? Have one of those roller things come down and just like,
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's free. That's a free idea.
Those are both free.
Yeah.
You can take those. I like yours.
Thank you.
I kind of want to work in advertising now. I kind of want to go do that. That sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Huh.
You should go into it. Do it.
Yeah.
And then you can be a fancy hotshot ad man that comes in.
The
to
ad
podcast.
man.
They call me
They call
the
me the
ad
ad
man.
man.
The ad man would be an amazing superhero. He just is advertising stuff all the time.
Like
It's
mid-fight.
like
It's like, ooh, Mr. Like he's fighting like a cold base villain. He's like, it sure is chilly with Mr. Freeze. Nearly as cold as my mouth while chewing Trident. And he gets just like, it's like knocked in the mouth.
It's like, ad man, help! I'm having a heart attack.
Probably because of all that baby aspirin. You should have used Tylenol.
I do take Tylenol. Oh God, please help me, Mr. Adman. Please take me to a hospital.
Maybe with some heartburn relief with Tums. You'll feel better in no time.
How much is it?
They didn't tell me, but you should buy it.
Can I have it?
Yes.
Okay. This isn't doing anything to help. Oh God, I think I'm gonna pass out.
Well, we'll get to the hospital quickly with the ambulance's Goodyear tires. He's sleeping soundly, almost as if he's taken NyQuil.
That's stupid.
Oh
The
my
most
God.
useless superhero.
I like
Please
that.
wait 15 seconds for me to save you.
You have to watch the ad before the superhero saves you.
He just shows up with a little phone. He's like, "Here, watch this." Okay, now I can do it.
Okay, you have to sign actually before I can help you.
Oh my gosh!
Sign
Like
for
that's
hero
what they do with
delivery.
NASCAR drivers and stuff. Why don't superheroes have ads on their bodies so they can actually make a living? Like Spider-Man would have like
True.
pest spray on him and like.
Well, they wouldn't. No, because he's like pro bug. They would like.
Oh yeah.
Or who knows? Maybe he would. No, because a spider eats pests.
Exactly.
No, that's good.
So, yeah,
yeah,
boom.
that's actually pretty smart. Yeah, advertising on
Yeah.
superheroes. Damn, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
How's that not been done?
I don't know. You tell me, Mr. Adman.
Huh.
This is not Jordan's history corner, but it kinda is, because I want to look at some predictions for the future, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes. So I don't know if you have any predictions for the future. What do you think is going to happen in the next 10 years? Let's say it now. This will be a little
Okay.
time capsule.
Okay. 10 years from now, what do I think is going to happen? It's currently 2023. I don't know. Wait, you start this one. Give me some context.
I think that Disney is going to acquire Tubi. For one, I feel like they're just gonna keep acquiring companies.
Continue
and
to
I feel like
acquire.
it's gonna come down to just less streaming services, or even something that's gonna completely replace streaming services. That's gonna be the new thing. I don't know what yet. I feel like there is gonna be we're already in another Cold War. I don't know. I don't have too many. I feel like because my philosophy has always been that things have stayed generally the same forever. I feel like there's never going to be a huge shift that causes like massive things to change, which is probably the worst prediction I can make because something huge is going to happen now.
Something huge
Tomorrow.
will
Yeah.
happen. Like, I mean, there's always something big. In our lifetimes, I think we've had some of the biggest like world events though. 9/11 and COVID are like some of the like those are massive ramifications.
COVID was
is like
huge.
the biggest event. Like we will never live through anything bigger than that. Like
Yeah. I don't know though, because I mean, you think about
what else could there be that has the most global impact? Like
Yeah.
What
War.
could possibly war would be the only thing. It would have to be like a world scale of war though, because COVID literally affected every single person on the planet.
But just think about. I've always wanted to do
climate changes.
Yeah.
Is it? But that's already happening.
Yeah, climate change is going to be a huge one. I feel like honestly, a lot of predictions are just going to be
in
around
10 years from now, climate
we're
change
going to be
is
absolutely messed up.
we're going to be it's not going to be good. I think 10 years from now we're going to be living a lot more frequent frequent consequences of climate because we're already seeing like the massive like
There's
storms
a hurricane
and high
in
temperatures.
California. Like, what is that?
Yeah, we don't use those as examples. We don't.
Why?
We don't use climate change as I'm gonna go into my little science thing there.
Okay.
We have to be careful about using individual examples to support or deny climate change.
Because
Specifically
it's
support because it's like, well, there's always been hurricanes and You have to look at statistics and broad numbers. But
I just know that in my lifetime,
temperatures have risen and so have natural disasters.
I feel like overpopulation is going to get so insufferable to the point where it's just going to be.
I disagree. Actually, I think that overpopulation. I actually read this super interesting article about how there are countries. So countries like Japan that are actually having a decline in birth rate. Basically, it's just an opportunity, but countries that are having a decline in birth rate have a huge opportunity to essentially support immigration because that way it could keep the influx of young people.
Is Japan ever gonna do that though?
I'm just saying. Like it happens in I think in European countries it's true as well. But I just think that there's I think 10 years from now China is not going to be a serious global power anymore.
Dude, that is the worst prediction you have ever had so far.
No.
You are insane. Are you kidding me?
No.
The following conversation has been removed as it does not align with the views of the parent company of Close Contact.
以下对话已被删除，因为它与 Close Contact 母公司的观点不一致。
Anyways, let's move on to what we're actually talking about, which is this Wired article that I found, which is just fascinating because it talks about positive outlooks for the future, which is basically saying that like things, and this is from 1995, and it's basically saying that society is going to be way more technologically affluent. There's going to be increased prosperity, higher boosts in the economy in general. But at the very end of the article, there are 10 scenarios that could possibly, that they're like, listen, if things don't turn out as great as we'd expect, it's probably because of these reasons.
Because of one of these or multiple of them?
Right. So here are the 10 things that they think could cut short this boom
that
of
they thought
progress.
in 1995.
In 1995. Okay, 1. Tensions between China and the U.S. escalate into a new Cold War bordering on a hot one.
Okay, well.
2, new technologies turn out to be a bust. They simply don't bring the expected productivity increases or the big economic boosts. That's debatable.
Missed that one. No, dude, not even debatable.
Yeah.
Technology has revolutionized the entire world.
3, Russia devolves into a kleptocracy run by a mafia or retreats into a quasi-communist nationalism that threatens Europe. They knew.
Okay.
4, Europe's integration process grinds to a halt. Eastern and Western Europe can't finesse a reunification, and even the European Union process breaks down.
Okay, no, keep going. This is crazy.
5, major ecological crisis caused a global climate change that, among other things, disrupts the food supply, causing big price increases everywhere and sporadic famines. Which, I mean, they knew about climate change back then. But
no, I know, but that's but it hasn't been until recently that climate change was even more widely accepted.
Yeah. 6, major rise in crime and terrorism forces the world to pull back in fear. People who constantly feel like they could be blown up or ripped off are not in the mood to reach out and open up.
I think we have
this is before 2001. I would just like to say.
So that did happen briefly, but I think we have a different social issue, which is mostly social media based.
This one. The cumulative escalation in pollution causes a dramatic increase in cancer, which overwhelms the ill-prepared health system.
Wow.
8, energy prices go through the roof. Convulsions in the Middle East disrupt the oil supply, and alternative energy sources fail to materialize.
No, what the God!
9.
No!
An uncontrollable plague, a modern-day influenza epidemic or its equivalent, takes off like wildfire, killing upward of 200 million people. 10. A social and cultural backlash stops progress dead in its track. Humans beings need to choose to move forward. They just may not.
Wow!
I found this and I was reading it and I was like,
Whoa!
Now-
They crushed that.
yeah, they absolutely nailed it. And I think besides the one about the pandemic, which is definitely surprising, it goes to show that a lot of the problems we have today persist because they existed back in the day. Like there had to be some evidence of these things possibly happening in the 90s that would cause those predictions to be even conceivable.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's like, it was really less of
Yeah.
like,
Unlike China not existing in
yeah, uh-huh.
I'm picturing in your head China is literally off the map. There's
It's
just a hole.
Russia just gets bigger. Yeah. Wow, that is interesting. I mean, yeah, I do hear that. Yeah, that's literally. I mean, that's the phrase that everyone says. History
Yeah.
repeats itself. But I don't know. I think less of history repeating itself in this case, and more of like, hey guys, what's that over there? What's that thing? And everyone's like,
Yeah.
bro, I legitimately want to go into advertising now. Sorry, I
What
just
is
like.
I've just somehow
That was so
swayed you
fun.
on.
That was so fun. I loved that. That was just creative.
You think
I was just
that?
being creative.
You
for
think
like
that,
2
but
minutes.
then you're gonna get in there and they're gonna be like, "We need you to make like a ad for anal warts," and you're gonna be like, "Oh,
I'd kill it. I'd make a great ad. Dude,
it's like a donut with the sprinkles being taken off."
dude, why are we not in advertising? That's so funny. That's so good. Oh shit. Oh my god. You just came up with that off the dome? Holy god.
It's like with tweezers, like.
It could literally, that would be a good print ad, actually. That would be
You're
a good
right,
like
yeah.
magazine. You know what I miss? I don't even I mean, I wasn't even like old enough to really appreciate them, but I see them now. I really miss the old magazine ads that were super creative
Yeah.
visually. Like, I mean, everyone loves the aesthetic, or I shouldn't say everyone, but it's a commonly loved aesthetic is the old ads for cigarettes in magazines.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I've got some Playboy
they're just
magazines
so
over there that
cool.
we
Like,
can.
yeah, the picture, like, just because they it has to be all displayed in one image.
One of the favorite things I've done is this was when we were at the satirical newspaper Off Leash, was those print ads I made for it.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of those. Maybe we can put some on the screen right now. But the
Yeah.
antifreeze one, like
Ugh.
the flame broiled wood chips.
Yep.
And
Yep. They're just so funny.
latex mittens where it's like make his next colonoscopy unforgettable. It's like it's not even like a dating ad. It's just a mittens ad, but it's like yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think I mean, like, well, for me, like, dude, the Geico commercials are unforgettably hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
some of those are legitimately like
They
that
really
is
nailed the
so
humor.
goddamn funny. Like,
Yeah.
that is really good humor, and they've managed to convey it in 15
Yeah.
seconds. I would kill to do something
Yeah.
like that. That would be so fun.
It would be. Have you ever watched Mad Men?
No, I know it's about advertising, or he does advertising.
It's really good. I mean, it's a period piece. I love
Yeah.
the 60s and it's
Yeah.
it's good. You should watch it.
I don't know. I just feel like that would allow me to be like more creative, but like still get like paid because you're working for a corporation who has money, you know, which is the tricky thing because I really like doing creative artwork, and that's why I like volunteer with art and music organizations to like support creative work. But it's just like I can't like get paid doing that.
We should make an ad for our own channel. Like, what are we doing?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I just can't laugh. And when I feel that way, I watch Close Contact.
Close Contact is nothing like your regular podcast. These guys don't even know what they're doing.
For some reason, they talk about topics and things that they have no idea
And they
what
interrupt
even
each
mean.
other all
and
the
they
time.
keep talking over each other. It's really frustrating.
They literally have never stayed on a
They
narrative.
never stop talking.
They
now. It's just
doesn't
like,
ever
Their
stop.
thoughts don't make any sense. Conversations go nowhere.
And then sometimes they talk about themselves, and then sometimes they have.
Oh, I'm a dinosaur. Rah, rah. We do improv too. Did we mention that? Oh god. And then they punctuate everything by just laughing super hard.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
Okay.
Are we gonna do a get rich quick scheme? How do we get rich? I think it's advertising. I think that's our get rich quick scheme. Is
Our
just
get rich quick
pursue
scheme is
careers.
I'll tell you, my get rich quick scheme is
Okay.
a 401k. Okay, that's a get rich.
the fastest I'm gonna get there. I'm more of a Roth IRA guy, but
Get rich quick. Work a wage.
Work. quick. You can get rich too. All you have to do is work 40 hours a week, invest at least 20% of your savings into ETFs in a retirement fund, and then in 40 years from now, you are going to be financially stable and retire.
You know, it depends on what you define quick as, because in the large scheme of the universe, 40 years is pretty short.
40 years is
That's
pretty quick.
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
100 years is pretty quick.
Yeah, if you get rich in 100 years,
Yeah.
that's like a one person. Like, and think about how many people there have been. That's like a pretty small percentage of people. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I would get rich quick. I feel like I'm just gonna, maybe I will just pursue my career in advertising, and then I'll just be happy.
that.
And then time will fly while I'm having fun, and then I'll be quickly rich. I just have to that's all you have to do. Just get a job that you have fun at. Time flies when you're having fun. And then when you're done with your job, you're like, oh shit, that was fast.
Time always flies, but how does it land?
Stop.
What?
This is your
should we
work.
do some
This
one-liners?
is like your. This is.
I'm gonna pull up some weird one-liners that I have. Where am I?
Why?
Let's all money comes at a price.
I would kill to watch you do one-liner stand-up.
Oh, I've told you this one. How do they cut tortillas so thin?
I know. I love
Yeah,
that one.
millennials aren't hiring butlers anymore. Oh, I'm so fucking amazing. I don't even have an ego.
Nice.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, I'm done. This
I had a joke like that. I can't remember.
this episode should have ended 2 hours ago.
No,
I
it
would
shouldn't
just like to
have, 'cause
say.
it only started 30 minutes ago. Really. I think the only two things I have in my notes right now that are just ideas is it's I like people watching, but really just one person in particular, and microdosing heroin.
To end the episode, we're gonna do another little lightning round. Who wants to be a millionaire? Welcome back to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. First question on the board. What is the capital of Washington?
You know what? I'm.
Atlanta? Cleveland?
You know what? I'm gonna phone a friend. I'm gonna
You're
phone
gonna
a friend.
okay.
I'm gonna phone my son. He's really excited to see the show.
Okay.
And me on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and
Aw,
call
that's
him.
so
All right.
sweet.
Ring ring.
Hi.
Hey son. Hey. How are you doing? Are you watching the show?
I was watching Sesame Street.
Okay. I need your help. What is the capital of Washington? Okay. I have 15
I
seconds.
found race car. I'm sleeping.
All right. Hey, buddy. What's the capital of Washington?
Atlanta.
Buddy. Hey.
Did you see my macaroni?
Hey. Enough of your
And
bullshit.
your time is up. So,
Fucking hate my family. Astronaut was clearly not in it for the science.
And we've landed on the moon. Well, guys, this has been a serious moment in history, both for the world and for all of science.
How are you doing up there, astronaut?
This is so fucking cool! I'm totally gonna piss on that rock over there.
Right. Okay. We need you to get some samples of the matter on the planet.
Yo, you know what? I bet I could write something up here and it would stay here forever.
Okay. Yes. Could you? You can do that, but could you please collect some samples?
Houston, I am drawing a penis.
Okay. Right. So
Can you
we
see
have
it yet? I should make it bigger.
we have our cameras focused on it. It is quite impressive. But could you please take some of the soil and put it in the?
Did you like the veins I put on it?
Oh, they're disgusting. Man doesn't understand the Got Milk campaign.
Bring, bring.
Hello?
Hi, is this the milk company?
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
milk.
well, I saw your ad, and I just wanted to say I do have milk.
That's great to hear. Great to hear from a happy customer. Is there anything else we can do for you?
No, you asked if I had milk, and I'm saying yes, I do. Do you want it?
No, we're all. We were just encouraging people in the world to get their milk and to drink milk. So
You
they
don't
can
want
have
my milk?
I-
It's pretty good.
Sir, I'm not sure what you're implying here,
I've
but
got
we
it.
don't.
Look, you want milk? I've got it.
Yes, we're not. It's a rhetorical
you-
question, sir. Do you
So
understand?
why don't you do an ad that says I've got milk?
Well, because we don't have milk. We're asking people if they've got
What do you
milk.
mean you don't have milk? Then why don't
Right,
you want to
sir.
buy my milk? All right, drug commercial voiceover reading side effects for the first time.
When I woke up, I noticed rashes all over my body. I didn't know what to do. But then I found Exotrol.
Exotrol is suited to treat various conditions of eczema. Users of Exotrol may experience symptoms including nausea, headaches, dizziness, lack of coordination, lack of love from a family member.
Now I feel better.
Exotrol is not suited to treat most diseases. Exotrol will most likely harm you. Exotrol, don't do Exotrol. Don't take it. It's really bad for you.
Take Exotrol today.
Don't take Exotrol.
Stupid. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching this episode. We love you. Kisses for you.
Mwah.
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 Mwah. Podcast so good.
No, we're not getting into that. That is
You
a-
said get rich quick scheme.
that-
That is a get rich quick
that
scheme.
is a deep
Can I not be
hole.
an NPC? NPC podcast. Have you seen the news today?
Hooray!
Have you seen the news today?
Hooray! Yeehaw!
China is over.
Hooray!
Jordan's History Corner.
Yeehaw!
Taft.
Hooray! I'm gonna fucking kill you. That's a good donation.
Okay.
I'm gonna fucking stab you.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Mwah. Nom, 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 nom.